Hi everyone, I'm Gina Minardi and I'm a licensed therapist who got fed up with therapy. This is a one-woman show about my journey of finding the spaces between non-traditional approaches of healing. What I learned is that there's no one right way to heal, and you truly are your best resource. Therapists and healers are meant to support you on your path, but they don't have all of the answers. You do. This show is about the spaces between laughter, tears, thoughts, ego, soul, messy growth, and moments of joy. It's about personal liberation, inner knowing, and the tools that get you there. I will cover topics that make many of us uncomfortable and interviewing people who are willing to go there. I've spent thousands of hours listening to human beings navigate their life story, from rehabs in Malibu to homeless shelters in East LA, and now my private practice. It has been some of the most profound, painful, and beautiful moments in my life. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, friends, and welcome back to Spaces Between. My consistency has been lacking with podcasting as I brew this little human, and I'm now 40 weeks. He could come any moment, but I felt really compelled to write this episode. The reason being is that I named this podcast Spaces Between. And of course, I have felt transitional periods in my life, but this is truly one for the books. And it has made me think about all of us humans as we prepare for spaces between in life, where you are entering the complete unknown and there is a balance of preparation, action, and complete surrender. Whether that is getting married or leaving a marriage, plunging into starting your own business, leaving the comfort of a career that is sucking your soul dry, moving to another country, the list can go on and on. For me personally, the end of the third trimester reminds me of the space before my mom passed away when I was a teenager. This is not to sound dark, as a new life and soul is about to enter this world through my body, but the energy feels on the same precipice, the thin door between life and death. I was born a particularly sensitive human, and as I enter these final days, my energy field feels wide open, and the sensitivity is unlike anything I've experienced. Similarly, when I was 17 years old and watching my mom physically slip away from cancer, I was wide open and raw, but didn't know what to do with that cracked open energy and big emotional waves. Nor did American culture help or guide me towards processing and sitting with the magnitude of my mom dying. People love to dance around the topic, distract, or always told me there could be a miracle with her cancer. But deep down, I always sort of knew the truth of it. I remember walking through Rite Aid with my Aunt Bonnie, buying Depends for my mom, and she said, "Sweetie, are you prepared to watch your mother take her last breath?" Absolutely not, I thought. And I also thought it was a bit bold of her to ask me that question, even though it was such a necessary question to help ground me in the reality that my mom was no longer going to physically exist on this plane, and I would have to navigate life without a mom. Also, how does one prepare in life for the total unknown? I didn't understand life without a mother, just like I don't understand life with a child. I can intellectualize the expansive love that a new mother can feel for her child, but it is not yet a tangible experience for me. I can have strong intuitions and visions about what my home birth experience will be like, but as all of us are consistently reminded in life, we are not in control. We have to expect the unexpected, and we have to surrender and let go. I told Jonas the other night how I haven't been meditating as much, which is ironic in a time when I need it the most to stay grounded and present with these massively changing tides. With every deep back pain, cramp in my pelvic floor, and wild movements and kicks from baby Carlo, I am reminded of the unknown. When my mind runs wild, which I think it does for all of us before a massive event in our lives, we often let the mind envision and create what the day or experience will be. I've told Jonas that the range has gone from visualizing an orgasmic and blissed out birth, where I am blasting through the cosmos and I pull up my son to my chest in the birthing tub, or my mind has me in an ambulance gripped in terror as I make my way to the hospital because things don't go as planned. It has been one of the greatest learning lessons of truly taking on the task of being present and not creating mental stories or getting hooked of what will be. Some might be thinking, well then, Gina, what about manifestation, visualization, and putting all of our energy into co-creating with the universe? And yes, there are 1,000 online courses that will teach you this, or Joe Dispenza will break down quantum physics for you in his book, Becoming Supernatural. And it is not that I don't believe in some of this, but I also deeply believe that the universe can have different plans for you and different lessons for your growth. There might not be enough vision boards that you can make or affirmations that you can say. But you bet your ass that during these 9 months, I have been visualizing, meditating, and affirming a beautiful birth experience. But I do think it's somewhat naive, egoic, and dare I say delusional to think that we control life and all of the outcomes, because we don't. We can control our actions, preparation, thoughts, and emotions going into a major life event. And sometimes it does absolutely pan out as beautifully as articulated in your mind's eye or a vision board, while other times you can be left reeling from an experience you didn't anticipate. I know many clients and friends that have had traumatic births or births that didn't go according to plan, but that didn't mean that they didn't love their baby any less or the expansive journey of motherhood. And I think it's so important to expect the unexpected. It is the mystery of life that makes this experience of being human so compelling. With all of these new sensations and energies in my body, I am opened up to a deeper surrender and initiation into a death of my old self and a space of awe in the magic of what my body is preparing for. Witnessing and being part of both of these cycles in my life reminded me of the truth and circular design of life. That pain, suffering, joy, beauty, birth, and death are all part of the experience of living. There is no getting around that, but only through it directly. Also, that we are never that far away from the spirit door and are always being guided, even in the toughest of times. I remember my mom having conversations with dear friends and loved ones who had passed to the other side when she was a few days away from her own death. At the time, I kind of thought my mom was losing her shit, but she was in touch with a space that many of us are closed off to, but it is always there if we are open to it and to receiving it. Ancestors, guides, and spirits ushering her soul into a new space of being. The space between. So now I'm going to share 2 journal entries that I feel truly illuminate the mystery and allowing yourself to surrender to what is in the moment. February 6, 2022. I woke up bleeding a lot. As I said to Jonas last night, I knew it was bad from the cramping and blood. This has to be a chemical pregnancy, miscarriage, or whatever you want to call it. But the universe just offered me something really interesting. The gift of what it would feel like to be pregnant, how I would feel and respond to it, and just as quickly as I was pregnant, I am now not pregnant. How powerful the addition and subtraction of one word in your vocabulary can make you feel. Pregnant, not pregnant. The beginning of 2022 has started out with, a miscarriage and COVID again on a surf trip in Kauai, both incredibly challenging experiences where I had to really be in my body and land in both experiences, feeling all of my feelings. Something I'm truly learning in life is that we are not in control of our lives. We think we are, but we aren't. At any moment, you can get sick, lose a baby in your body, etc. Also, the impermanence of all feelings, the joy and the suffering, the neutrality in between. It is all God. Journal entry number 2, March 9th, 2022. This is a condensed version for all of you. I am pregnant. I took a test and it's 4 a.m. I haven't woken Jonas up yet. The baby's tentative due date when I look at these apps online is 1 day before my mom's birthday. It is so odd because I was hiking yesterday and I had this strange intuition that what if I had to complete a karmic or energetic cycle with my mother, that this soul is coming through for me to teach how to feel deeply in their power, worthiness, and unconditionally love from me. Strange. I'm feeling much calmer, more present, and really excited this time. The first time I was gripped with panic, fear, and almost aversion to opening up to this new version of myself and my life. So now I'm not reading from my journal, but as I sit 2 days before my mom's birthday, which is November 16th, I am in complete awe of the mystery of life. We do not have all of the answers, and my own intuition has been challenged in this pregnancy process. I am continuously reminded to stay humble on this path in life. Humility, humility, and more humility, and that we don't have all of the answers. As I wrap this episode up, I want you to ask yourself if you have been fully open to feeling, being present, and embracing the spaces between in your life. Are there any that you are presently going through right now? And please remember that there is no perfect way to do this or life in any way. It can be a simple and extremely difficult practice, particularly if we are experiencing deep pain and discomfort in our current life circumstance or in our body and emotionally. But I do have a few questions for you. Have you allowed yourself to fully feel? Have you given yourself the space to process the past trauma or the pain? Have you held gratitude or felt the joy for the miracle spaces? Because we do live in a culture that endlessly prods all of us to experience life through doing, being productive and successful on our phones, posting on our phones, and not just being with. Being with it all and creating the space to hold it all. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to witness and observe yourself in the moment. Take a moment to be fully engaged in whatever is coming up for you. Take a moment to feel your heart and recognize that you are alive. And even though being alive is such a gift, it's not necessarily meant to always be comfortable or easy. I have certainly not mastered this in my life, and nor do I believe that we need to. We just need to simply create more awareness and space around it and practice being a messy human each day, who give ourselves the grace to feel with compassion and presence. So now I would like to wrap all of this up with I'd say it's a quote or poem from one of my favorite Buddhist teachers who has passed, Thich Nhat Hanh, and it's titled Contemplation on No Coming, No Going. This body is not me. I am not limited by this body. I am life without boundaries. I have never been born and I have never died. Look at the ocean and the sky filled with the stars, manifestations from my wondrous true mind. Since before time, I have been free. Birth and death are only doors through which we pass, sacred thresholds on our journey. Birth and death are a game of hide and seek. So laugh with me, hold my hand. Let us say goodbye to meet again soon. We meet today, we will meet again tomorrow. We will meet at the source every moment. We will meet each other in all forms of life. Thank you so much for listening. And it is my promise that I will be back in the new year with more consistency because I really do love podcasting. But for right now, I'm going to continue to marinate in this space of awe and wonder and big emotions as I allow myself to grieve my old self, who is becoming a new mother to an old soul, potentially, and birthing a new version of myself. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Hi, friends. If you have been enjoying Spaces Between, please take a moment to subscribe, and leaving a review is the cherry on top. Thank you so much, and I look forward to connecting with you next week.